Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Wanted to shoot a quick video answering this particular question that I get asked a lot by those who are looking to get into the business of overages, whether it's tax sales or mortgages. The question is, should I use an attorney? This is my response to that. I always try to use an attorney whenever possible when I'm doing my cases. And what's the reason behind that? Because obviously it is an extra expense in doing a case. And so the reason I like to use attorneys is because if I can find an attorney that is experienced with submitting claims for overages, then they can help guide me through some of the pitfalls that I may not be aware of. And what is an example of the pitfalls? So for example, each state has specific laws in place that may affect how an overage claim is paid out. An example would be in Florida, for example. If you're a lien holder, you have 120 days to submit your claim. If you submit after that, then the law says that you're out of luck, that you can't get your money back. So that is good for the homeowner in the fact that, let's say I'm working for a homeowner to help them collect an overage, and let's say a bank submits a claim because they had a second mortgage on the home. Well, if they submitted their claim, say, on 125 days after the sale, technically they could not recover their money because they're outside of that window according to Florida law. So, and there's different states have different laws, and also different counties have different procedures. And so an attorney that's done work with overages can help me navigate the rules of the counties and their procedures. And so that's why I like to, even though it's an extra expense, I do like to use attorneys whenever possible. Now, can you do cases without attorneys? Yes, you can. I do not recommend that, but I have done some cases without attorneys. I've done one in Tennessee where I didn't use an attorney. I've done a couple in my home state. I have one right now in Connecticut. And the only reason I'm not using an attorney for this Connecticut one is because I could not find an attorney that had experience submitting claims for tax sale overages in Connecticut. I called several foreclosure attorneys and real estate attorneys, and even they couldn't refer me to someone. So I just submitted it on my own. But again, should you use an attorney? I recommend you do. I think it's worth the expense. In most cases, especially if they can help you and they're good and they communicate with you and they answer their phone or they answer their emails. You definitely want an attorney that is good with communication and open and willing to share with you the details of the case. And so that's what I look for. And so I do recommend using an attorney at all possible. They can also help you navigate, like I said, the procedures of the counties, the laws of the state, and your paperwork. They can also look at your paperwork and see if your paperwork is violating any rules or laws of the state, or if your paperwork is good to go, and then they can advise you. And if need be, they can draft specific paperwork for you for that county or for that state. And so, because here's the reality, not all paperwork is going to work all across the country. The paperwork I use in Utah or Nevada does not work in California. There are specific forms that I use for Florida. And so there's very specific rules in Texas that if you were to do overages in Texas, you would want to know what the rules are in regards to your forms and what they should say and everything in there. So that's another reason I like to use attorneys. They can advise me on that and check my forms and make sure they're good to go. So that's another question I get asked is, can I provide forms for people? the reality is, guys, you should probably do your due diligence and figure out what forms you need and speak to an attorney in your local market. Because if I were to say this form will work in all 50 states, that would not be true. Each state is different, and so you need to figure out what forms are going to work in your market. You need to be able to do that due diligence. So, and an attorney will help you with that. But make sure that the attorney, whatever attorney you're working with, actually has experience submitting claims for overages. If they do not, you should probably not work with them. That's my advice on attorneys. Hopefully it's helpful. Let me know your comments below or other questions you have. And then if you are interested in partnering with me or learning more about how to get into the business, you can visit my website, www.overagesyndicate.com, and that'll give you more information on how we can work together and how you can learn more about the business. And yeah, that's it for today. Thanks, guys. See ya.